Told you don't go anywhere, as the Lucas Oil Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace truck already has the lights ablaze. The Whitetail Trophy Hunt, who is the presenting sponsor of the Big Buck 50, bringing their truck out as well, followed by 30 Hikimo Super Stocks. 50 times around, $10,000 to win. The biggest show that the Super Stocks will have here at Lucas Oil Speedway this season comes to end the racing season here for the Super Stocks. Get the starting grid set for you for our 50-lap main event. Take you all the way back to 2 nights ago. Terry Schultz out of Sedalia, Missouri. He took home the TJR Motorsports Fast Time Award. An extra $500 for Terry Schultz as he picked up the fast time in qualifying. He won the original and inaugural Big Buck 50 back in 2014. He starts on the pole. And a 3-time POWRi National Points Series champion, Aaron Poe, will start outside of him out of Warrensburg. Taylor Carver won during the Jenkins Memorial out of Locksburg, Arkansas. He starts inside row number 2, and the current point leader at Central Missouri, Blaine Ewing, outside of him in the 0-4. Neil Kemp has won 6 times in a factory stock. He's out of Mineral Springs, Arkansas in the 140, starting in 5th, and J.T. Carroll outside of him. Portageville, Missouri's Claudie Cook and Johnny Finnewald, they make up row number 4. Claudie's going to be followed by his son, Bailey, out of Portageville in the 5C. He starts in 9th with Braden Jarvis on his outside. Derek Brown and Tony Anglin, 2 regulars here at the Diamond of Dirt Track, starting in row 6. Tunas, Missouri's Mitchell Waters in the 1X, and Richie Tosh on his outside out of Salado, Arkansas. Mike Striegel and Keith Hammett round out the row 8 starting spots, and those were all of the qualifiers that got in through the heat races last night. The winners of the Bs, Dean Willie and Jay Prevette in row number 9 with Brian Worley and Michael Muskrat behind him. The guys that finished second in the Bs, Kyle Davis, Aaron Halpane, Jared Hayes, and Johnny Coates. Flip the screen over to the guys that finished third in their B, Will Smart, Whitney Nunley, Donnie Miller, and Gary Clark. And then the provisionals go to Tim Brown and Jeremy Russell. Those were the 2 that got provisionals in as being past winners of the Big Buck 50. A provisional was offered to Kenny Carroll. He would have gotten in on the points side from the championship run this season at Lucas Oil Speedway. He elected not to take that provisional. 1 extra provisional was added, so kudos to Kenny on that. I understand wanting to make a run, but the door was open to him, and he elected not to, and I completely understand why, as we are ready to go as Terry Schultz. He will start on the pole. He swept Thursday and Friday with fast time, with heat race win, with dash win, and can he make it a perfect night by winning the Big Buck 50 for the second time after the original one was won by him back in 2014. '85 Hikimo Super Stocks came in here at Lucas Oil Speedway to get the festivities started 2 nights ago with qualifying and practice. We have whittled it down to 30. After 10 heats, 2 dashes, and 4 Bs, the best super stock drivers across the Midwest have made their way to Lucas Oil Speedway for an opportunity to win $10,000. An extra lap or 2 here just to pack in where the track crew came out and tilt things up, especially over in turns 3 and 4. Didn't do much work over in 1 and 2. Extra award that was given out a little while ago, the Alamo Arms first non-qualifier award, $500 went to Jacob Rexing, as thought he was, especially during his B, had an opportunity to bust the door open and make his way into the A main, just did not happen. And the B features for this event, and again, getting into this A main for the opportunity at $10,000 might take some chances you normally wouldn't take. So quite a few cautions during the B features. Knock on wood, and there's some up here, and I am knocking on it. I think these drivers understand, just like what we had in the late model race, can't win this on the first lap. Can't win this on the first 10 laps. So take a little bit of time. Make sure that you don't spoil your night by pushing anything too soon, and save your car for late. You see a lot of similar cars out there, a lot of team cars with Terry Schultz and Blaine Ewing, similar schemes there. You see the same thing with Taylor Carver and Neil Kemp. Neil Kemp was fast time in Group B qualifying last night, or 2 nights ago, and Taylor Carver just about topped him. As we are ready to go, a little firework to get things started. I think Hotter Fireworks is just as excited as everybody here. Terry Schultz, Aaron Poe on the front row, getting ready to roll for the big buck 50 here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Three and 4 wide on the exit of turn 4. Everybody clears it cleanly, and Terry Schultz leads lap number 1 ahead of Taylor Carver. Midwest Sheet Metal caution comes out on lap number 2, however. Jay Prevette. Jay Prevette in the 25, and then also the 29 involved in that of Keith Hammett out of Brooklyn, Arkansas. Take a peek at it on the replay. And, yeah, Hammett just straight down the track he went. Looked like Jay Prevette might have stayed out of trouble, but Hammett turns right back into him, and a hard hit on the nose of the 25 of Prevette. Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew looking in the wheel well to make sure there's no tire rub, nothing broken on the inside, and see if they can get Jay Prevette back underway. And that hit from Prevette, you saw the entire right side of Hammett's car up in the air. And he's going to make a quick exit, see if he heads to the hot pit or if he goes ahead and calls it a night. And yeah, Jay Prevette thought maybe he would be able to continue on, but they've already popped the hood and see if he will be able to continue or not. But want to say, again, thanks to the entire crew here from Flow Racing for coming out. Dave Middleton handling the controls in the truck. He does such a fantastic job. Dave Smith taking care of a lot of the video work. Austin Cassidy taking care of graphics, and Spencer Ray up top. Good to see Spencer back. And Scott Scooter Reich also manning the camera way high atop Lucas Oil Speedway here. Giving you the pictures that we've got live here on Flow Racing. I gotta say, I have seen Sawzalls on cars. I have never seen a shovel being used on a car. Trying to dig Jay Prevette out of trouble. That wasn't very good, but it's the best I could come up with. I think they're just simply trying to get enough clearance in the wheel well right now to let Jay Prevette to continue. Now they're calling in the big guns. Yep, Sawzall, I heard it. The good thing is for Hammett, who went back to the hot pit, this extra lap or two is giving him more time, and he was able to come back out. So Keith Hammett is back out on the track. And I saw a thumbs up, and sometimes thumbs up means you're good to go, and other times thumbs up means you got to go on a hook. And this is the bad thumbs up. So Terry Schultz led the opening lap. Taylor Carver in second. Aaron Poe's transponder not working right now. He is in third. Blaine Ewing in fourth. Steele Neil Kemp in fifth. The 4 of Terry Schultz, sponsored by Sperry Auto Service, Heritage Fab, and Ewing Farms. Past champion at Central Missouri. That was back in 2021. And Terry, I mean, he's good enough, obviously, to win a championship because he's done it. He's won the Big Buck 50 once already. He finished 8th in last year's Big Buck, finished 6th in the USRA Nationals back in 2021, but he really doesn't run for a championship anywhere. He'll run anywhere and everywhere and anything on top of that. We've seen it in a modified and a B-mod, stock car, super stock. He had a go-kart race a few years back. He won it. He ran a horse one time, and I think he whipped that mule up to a first-place finish. Terry Schultz leading lap number 1, and Taylor Carver, who is in second as they double him up in the Delaware double file restart, has chosen to go to the inside. Puts Poe to the outside, and then Ewing and Neil Kemp back in row number 3. Get everybody bunched back up, and we should be about ready to go. Part of me wants to see Terry Schultz win just to see if Doug Neff can get more than about 3 sentences out of him. Terry, a very soft-spoken man of few words. I know many out there wish I was a man of few words. As Schultz, Carver, and Poe, your top 3. And Terry Schultz through the Lucas Oil restart zone. See if we can rattle some laps off here. As 29 cars left on the track. They fan out. Derek Brown shoots the gap in the middle of a 3-wide battle that's deeper in the field. As Johnny Finewald, the Flash, making some noise up on the top side, to the outside of Kemp, to the outside of Poe, to the outside of Ewing. Johnny Finewald comes out of nowhere, and he shoots up to third that last time by. The Flash, Johnny Finewald, the first to really venture to the top side of the track, and he is making it work. He is 1.4 seconds behind your race leader, but Terry Schultz has a mirror full of Taylor Carver, 3 car lengths behind. This is your battle for third, with Finewald to the outside of Poe. He'll grab third and motor down the front stretch. This is where all the experience that he has driving a late model comes in. With the super stocks, many times you run low side of the track, middle, don't really go up to the top side all that much. You only see just a handful already tonight doing that. But that is something that late model drivers do quite frequently, and Johnny Finewald won 3 straight late model championships here at the Diamond of Dirt track, so he knows how to navigate up around that cushion on Razor's Edge. As Taylor Carver, a bobble, slowing down on the front stretch. Something breaks on Taylor Carver's number 40. He is slowed tremendously. He is off the track. He goes from second to the pits, if he can even make it back to the pits. He is slowed around turns 1 and 2. Terry Schultz now leads Johnny Finewald by 1.3 seconds. Taylor Carver, a contender to win the thing, is out on lap number 6. Now it's time to watch lap times to see if Terry Schultz around the bottom of the track has the same speed that Johnny Finewald does up on the high side. And Terry Schultz, fastest in qualifying, as we mentioned 2 nights ago. On the bottom, it was 1.3 last time by. This time by, it is 1 second flat. So 0.3 shaved off by Johnny Finewald, and he's tracking him down. This is a battle for third now. JT Carroll, the son of a ditch digger, looking to the inside of Aaron Poe, the Raven, a past national champion. And Poe has a little bit of an issue in 3 and 4. He shoots up the track, opens the door to JT Carroll. So JT now squarely up into third. And Aaron Poe may have his hands full with Blaine Ewing. This is a battle now for fourth, as Johnny Finewald has caught up with Terry Schultz on the point. Lead was down to 0.2 of a second. Johnny Finewald rim riding, and Terry Schultz knows it. Right now, Schultz is a sitting duck. Johnny Finewald, new leader, 21. Terry Schultz fighting back. Gonna get a nose out in front. Up the track he goes, and now Terry's gonna have to make an adjustment, and he knows it, as Johnny Finewald had him by a nose a lap ago and now has him by a full car length. But this is a great battle with the top 2 cars in Finewald and Terry Schultz. Approaching lap traffic now. Will Smart will be the first to go a lap down. Will Smart finished third in his B feature. JT Carroll in third. Now this is a battle for fourth with Blaine Ewing to the inside of Neil Kemp. Going to be easier now, as there were 2 identical looking number 40s. This on the book goes down as a 140, but he's got the yellow numbers instead of the white, and this is Steel Neil Kemp. Steel Neil came in running Taylor Carver's other car, the Jackson chassis, Rubel engine, a 6-time winner in a factory stock this year. And he is a 4-time champion. He actually won 4 straight titles at Diamond Park from 2011 to 2014. 195 career wins for Steel Neil. He diamonds the corner, cuts down on the track right in front of Derek Brown, and falls right back behind your current point leader at Central Missouri, Blaine Ewing. Same angle again. It looks like he's all over the track, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He'll dive down right here to the bottom, diamonding the turns, and it's working for him as he now pulls alongside Blaine Ewing. When he cuts down, you see the right rear flare out. That's where he gets the grip and propels down the track. That battle has gone by the wayside for now, as Johnny Finewald now out by 1.7 seconds. And he is mired in lap traffic right now. Michael Muskrat, scrappy up in front of him in the 164. Jared Hayes, the past winner here at Lucas Oil Speedway in the 4, trying to follow the tire tracks of Johnny Finewald around the outside. And Muskrat nearly pinches off the nose of Johnny Finewald. Johnny, with that 2-second lead, can afford to be a little bit patient. To the top side, he will work around the 10 of Braden Jarvis, Mr. Smooth, out of Claremore, Oklahoma. A 3-time winner at Salina goes a lap down. If you missed it earlier tonight, the 31X was up in flames. Whitney Nunley, good to see him back out. He does go a lap down, and the car that brought out the original caution, the 29 of Keith Hammett, He now will be the next to go a lap down if he doesn't chop off the nose of Johnny Finewald. Johnny has survived for some scares, and how about Neal? He loses a right rear over in turn number 2. Right rear comes off down the track, nearly goes across the nose of Brian Worley. So issues for both number 40s. Taylor Carver called it a night early after he had issues. And then the 140 of Neil Kemp, who at the time was running in 5th. Right rear comes off, shoots up the track, and the night for Steel Neal is done. Has to be a shock in your system when you're running along just fine as you get a look at it on the replay. This was a strong battle between he and Blaine Ewing. Watch the right rear. You see some sparks as they go entering into the turn, and he lost something. He doesn't have a spare either. Well, I guess you do kind of have to wonder if that's just a wheel coming off. Can he put a wheel back on, or was there something? And I couldn't tell from up here if something actually broke. You would think with a little bit of a spark entering turn 1 that there was something wrong there. Take another peek at it. Yeah, entire assembly there gone. See some metal flying through the air, so yeah, bigger issues for Steel Neal. And a good run for the 6-time winner this season. All goes for naught. And both Carver and Carver Construction 40 cars are back in the pits now. Johnny Finewald was out by 2.6 seconds ahead of Terry Schultz. JT Carroll had ran up to 3rd. At the end of the night, we will give the we will give the Rays Lake Service Hard Charger Award, a $500 check to who we deem to be the hard charger, and so far it has to be Jeremy Russell. Jeremy got in on a past champions or past Big Buck 50 provisional. He started 30th, and he is already up to 13th, up 17 spots. There's your hard charger right now, the Keg 1. Up 17 spots for the Jonesboro, Arkansas native, a 3-time winner at Old Number 1 this year. His Big Buck 50 win came in Big Buck number 2 in 2015. Didn't get to run the Big Buck 50 last year, didn't start, didn't qualify for it. Jeremy sponsored by Jarrett Farms, Daryl Hawkins Trucking, and Tyler Automotive. 3rd generation driver who had a 6th place finish here in July, the best finish he's had at Lucas Oil Speedway this year. We'll have to think that Johnny Finewald, obviously don't want to crown him yet, but just from what we've seen so far, pretty obvious he's the fastest car out there right now. He's averaging a sub 19 second lap. Only driver to be able to do that. Looked like through qualifying heats and dashes that Terry Schultz would be the man to beat tonight. And for the opening few laps, he was. But Johnny Finewald found something working. And going back to his late model days, asked him in the early going how he handles the late model. And most drivers, they just love to bring it and sling it, get it up on the high side of the track and let it all hang out. Johnny Finewald had always used the approach of, I'm just going to let the car do what the car does. Wherever it's working best, that's where I'm going to drive it. I'm going to point it where I want it to go instead of making it make that turn. And I think he probably uses much the same approach for his super stock. A lot of orange shirts in the stands. That's the official color of the Big Buck 50 shirt this year. Hunter orange it is. It's Johnny Finewald's race to start. And knowing Johnny Finewald, he'll get him nice and slow down the backstretch. I think we could probably run at a faster pace than this. I know somebody that does 5Ks all the time, and she had lapped Johnny Finewald at this rate. Terry Schultz and JT Carroll back behind. Down the track goes the Flash through the Lucas Oil restart zone. Green flag back in the air, 23 down, 27 to go. JT Carroll pinching down on Terry Schultz. Derek Brown, he's trying to make his way towards the front. Rim riding around the top side. Little contact between the 94 and the 04. Derek Brown trying to pick and choose where he needs to go. With JT and Terry Schultz up in front. I think maybe if Derek Brown can find a way to clear those two cars, he might have something for Johnny Finewald. JT Carroll right down across. Derek Brown again. Plenty of contact between the 11 and the 94. It's 4 cars wide. Here comes Tony Anglin, the Arkansas Hot Shoe, a past winner of this event. Tony Anglin, to the top he goes. He's trying to make another statement. He has not finished outside the top 6 in any Big Buck 50. He's trying to get there again. He is up into the top 5, and the Midwest Sheet Metal Caution will come out on lap number 26, and it is for JT Carroll. We saw all of the contact he had with Derek Brown, and it cost him a left rear, a flat left rear. JT will have to go into the hot pit, get that swapped out. Derek Brown, and again, he did nothing wrong. Derek just tried to get to the inside, and there was contact that cut the tire of the 94, but the man on the move is Tony Anglin. He started back in 12th, and on that restart, he worked the high side and cruised to the front. Gets up into the top 3, and Tony Anglin, again, has never finished outside the top 6. He won the Big Buck 50 back in 2017. He finished 2nd last year, and he's already up to 3rd, and he's got plenty of time if he wants to make a run at Terry Schultz and Johnny Finewald. Tony Anglin, a 2-time winner this year, picking up a win at Crowley's as well as Central Missouri. He finished 2nd here at Lucas 3 times. And take you back to the final race of the season here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Tim Brown came in leading the points. Tony Anglin had a shot at it. Late in the race, Tim Brown had a tire cut. He had to go back to the hot pit. When he went back to the hot pit, that gave Tony England the points lead. When Tim Brown came back out, he passed just enough cars to take the lead back over and win the championship here by only 7 points. So Tony England, with 3 second-place finishes, has had some heartbreak at Lucas Oil Speedway. Nothing would cure that heartbreak like a big buck 50 win and a $10,000 paycheck. I think he'd almost be okay with not winning the championship and taking home the big payday. Tim Brown in the 111 is the man that won the championship by only 7 points, and he did that without a single win here at Lucas Oil Speedway. A few weeks ago, he called in a favor. He brought in one of the best in the business, Bill Fry. Let him drive here at Lucas Oil Speedway, and what did Bill Fry do? He won. What happened to Tim Brown right after that? He went to Arrowhead and won. So Tim Brown picks up his first win of the season right after Bill Fry did a little test and tune for him. Tim Brown, a past winner of the Big Buck 50, and we heard from Craig Danhuser earlier on from Whitetail Trophy. He said Tim Brown goes out, does really well in the Whitetail Trophy hunt, wins a chance to go at it again, so ended up with a really nice payday after winning the Big Buck and participating in the Whitetail Trophy hunt. Doubling up behind Johnny Finnewald. Terry Schultz decides to go to the outside. To the inside goes Tony England. Assuming lights are going to go dark here and we'll see the green flag next time by, maybe. And Johnny Finnewald is a master at changing up his restarts just to keep everybody a little off guard, see if he does anything different, and he does. He gets off to a quicker start than he did the time before through the Lucas Oil restart zone. Johnny Finnewald presses down on the loud pedal. Tony England up to second. He gets around Terry Schultz. Schultz will fight back, but Tony England clears him. Schultz back down to the bottom. He's not going to let this one die. No sleeping dogs here as Tony England back up to second. Derek Brown now trying to work to the inside of Terry Schultz. He's got clean sailing now. Up the track goes Derek Brown, not going to be able to clear him. And how about the 56 of Richie Tosh? He enters the picture. He is up into the top 5, being challenged by the 1X of Lloyd to his outside. Johnny Finnewald's lead is 0.8. Richie Tosh right behind Derek Brown, and we'll see if Tony England saved enough ponies under the hood to catch up with Johnny Finnewald. It was 0.8 seconds the previous time. Johnny Finnewald extends it out to 0.9 this time. Deeper in the field, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all in your picture. Richie Tosh driving the TJR team car as the Midwest Sheet Metal light flashes, and it's for the 29, and that is the second time now that Keith Hammett has been involved in an incident. And a 2-spin rule here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Did not see anybody get into the 29X, so I believe the 29X is headed off the track. The 35 of Johnny Coates also went off. And Keith Hammett So the evening done for the 29 of Keith Hammett. Johnny Coates is in the hot pit, and there's a flat left rear for Hammett anyway. Closing in on the final 20 laps, 21 to be exact. Derek Brown has had a auspicious Big Buck 50 career, if you will. Derek Brown finished second in the 2017 Big Buck. He was leading and had a flat while leading with 6 laps to go. Who did he give the lead up to? He gave it up to his dad, Tim Brown. And Tim Brown ended up winning the event. Johnny Coates had gone to the hot pit. We see his nose peeking out from over in turn number 2. So he'll head back out on the track. There's Gentleman Johnny. Johnny Coates won the Screamin' Lehman Memorial in Tobiat's car a few years ago. 2 championships for Johnny Coates. Last win for Johnny came at Monette in April of 24. And out of the hot pit, he will head to the tailback. Johnny Finewald, Tony England, Terry Schultz, your top 3. Derek Brown's jumped up to 4th. Richie Tosh has methodically made his way to the front. Tosh started back in 14th. Jeremy Russell has improved 22 spots. He is now up to 8th, from 30th to 8th. There's the Keg 1. Tony England choosing to go to the high side for the restart. Terry Schultz will go to the inside of road number 2. Big Bad Ballinger making sure everybody gets where they need to be. Had one car try to sneak to the inside, got his wrist slapped.
All right, guys, we're lights out.
Finewald, England, and Schultz ready to get back to business. 21 laps to go after 29 have been completed. Tony England, a little love tap to Terry Schultz. Derek Brown tries to thread the needle. He gets pinched out. As Richie Tosh now to the bottom side opens the door. Now Tony England, who was running in second, he has drifted back. He's about ready to fall out of the top 5 after jumping the cushion over in turns 3 and 4. Terry Schultz trying to set sail on the top side as Richie Tosh in the 56 has moved up to third. Derek Brown now in fourth, and Chris Lloyd in fifth. Side by side for fourth, Chris Lloyd to the inside of Derek Brown. Super stocks all over the place from about fourth on back. And Tony Anglin running in fifth. Jeremy Russell, you ready for this? Started 30th. He is up to sixth. Lost a position that last lap by. Car spins, and that is Hal Payne. He is going to dart to the inside over in turn number four as the kegerator of Jeremy Russell. He loops it around. The announcer Jeeks is living large as you talk about Jeremy Russell as he is in turn four. Something had started to go wrong, I'm telling you, on the one, because he had been running in fifth. He had dropped back to about seventh or eighth when that happened. So I think something was already starting to get spoiled on the one. From 30th to 6th was Jeremy Russell. And then a spin over in turn number 4. Take another peek at it. He might have gotten some help, but he had lost about 4 positions by this time. Down the backstretch, up over the top. Yeah, maybe Dean Willie. Well, Dean Willie started to push up the track, but then the one just whipped around. So all that work through 34 laps goes by the wayside for Jeremy Russell. Fantastic job by the crew. It's like they knew a lap ahead of time Jeremy Russell was going to have issues. Had him in the sights. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. I'm going to mention a name, and they're up top saying, okay, they're going to spin out next because Shane jinxed them. "16 laps left. Taking us a little while to get here. But Johnny Finewald, after getting out front and into clean air, has been practically untouchable. 1.4 seconds. Terry Schultz was behind him when that last caution came out. Thought maybe Tony Anglin would have something for him, as Anglin was running in second. He's now back to sixth. Terry Schultz has been about the only consistent factor up front. Taylor Carver out. Neil Kemp out. Tony Anglin was up there. Now he's back to sixth. Yeah, I think it's Johnny Finewald's race to win right now. Thought maybe Derek Brown might have something for him, but he's just had a tough time getting through traffic. trying to get some of the cars deeper in the field back where they need to be, going back to the last completed lap.
You need to fall to the back, son. You are behind. KK, no, you're behind 68. Okay, you got it. Sorry, Shane.
Again, a couple of events left on the schedule here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Kubota High Limit Racing Series will be here for their Wednesday show. And then the O'Reilly Auto Parts Eve of Destruction. Single file restarts from here on out behind Johnny Finnewald. Johnny Finnewald through the Lucas Oil restart zone. Fires them back underway. Terry Schultz trying to do something to the inside and find a way to pull even with Johnny Finnewald with 16 laps to go. Richie Tosh lurking in the weeds back behind. Three distinctly different lines. Finnewald top shelf. Schultz to the bottom. He's going to slide up in front of Richie Tosh. Battle for second continues to wage on with Terry Schultz around the outside of Richie Tosh. Derek Brown back in fourth, but he's not really much of a factor right now. I will say that Johnny Finnewald has not been able to get away from Terry Schultz and Richie Tosh near as quickly as he had in prior laps. Only about a second differential between first place running Johnny Finnewald and Terry Schultz. And Schultz now starting to venture a little higher on the track, and he might have found something up there. trying to find some type of grip. May see what Johnny Fenewald is doing and see if he can answer. Stays 1 second behind as we are now down to 10 laps to go. Ten laps this time by for Johnny Fenewald. And the caution comes out for a spin over in turn number 4. This brought out by Mr. Smooth, and Mr. Smooth off the track, and he is not smooth right now. And a flame under the hood. Well, maybe, I thought it's a flashing light from the safety worker, my bad. And Braden Jarvis having a helmet fire right now.
Yeah, they ain't gonna show it. Anybody else see that K1 just run plumb over?
Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew trying to calm down the young driver in Braden Jarvis. Brian Worley in the 14, gonna probably head to the top side over in turn number 2. Looks like he has some damage on the right rear. Dean Willie getting a push from the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew over in turn number 4. Damage to the right rear of Jeremy Russell's Keg 1. He'll have to head back to the pit. Understanding that there was contact, obviously, because Braden Jarvis was extremely upset with someone, and it appeared to be Jeremy Russell. Someone had seen the Keg 1 make the contact, so Jarvis off the track, and we are down to our final 10 laps. Lights out. Down to our final 10. Getting closer. 10 laps for 10K. Nose to tail for this next restart for Johnny Finnewald. He had built up a 1.1 second advantage over Terry Schultz, but Terry was able to hang with him unlike he had before in previous laps. Back underway, and Terry Schultz tries to do something with Johnny Finnewald on the opening lap to going to the inside. Derek Brown will follow that course as well to the bottom side of the track as Richie Tosh goes top shelf. Now Tosh to the middle, trying to find any bit of grip that he can. Schultz makes the 4 turn through the center of 3 and 4. Up the track he will go with Richie Tosh looking to the outside. And Johnny Finnewald taking advantage of the 2 cars battling it out side by side, extending his lead to a second off of turn number 4 with 8 to go. Midwest Sheet Metal caution out for a 3-car incident, maybe 4 cars over in turn number 1. Michael Muskrat, one of the cars, as well as Kyle Davis. I think Jared Hayes might have gotten a piece of that. Tim Brown heads back to the pit area. You see damage on the right rear of the 10K of Kyle Davis. Kyle trying to make his way back up to the front. See Richie Tosh going all the way down to the bottom of the track. That's where have a little bit of the moisture. Don't want those tires to glaze over and lose traction. And we're ready to go again with 8 to go. Slow pace again for Johnny Finnewald ahead of Richie Tosh. Now that Tosh has gotten by Terry Schultz, see if the 56 has anything for Johnny Finnewald. Johnny Finnewald trying to hook things up on the top side. Extends his lead out to 0.6 of a second. Terry Schultz still in the mix at 3rd. Derek Brown runs 4th, and Tony Anglin looking again for another top 5 finish. He's got Aaron Poe in his rearview mirror riding in 6th. Richie Tosh, a big run on Johnny Finnewald. Unable to complete the pass with 6 laps to go. 5 fingers in the air this next time by for Johnny Finnewald. Tosh, another big run. Richie Tosh driving that 56 tonight, but it is for sale for anybody that wants to buy it. And if you're curious on if it's a bad, fast car, I think this proves it. Get that sneaky suspicion if these two cars can keep from having an internal meltdown. Anything goes awry. If they can continue to battle it out like this, we're going to be down to a one-lap shootout at the very end. The wage for third with Terry Schultz and Derek Brown starting to heat up. Brown to the inside. He'll make the pass on Terry Schultz down the backstretch. He's up to third. 2 sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for Johnny Finewald. Richie Tosh to the inside. Biggest challenge Johnny Finewald has had so far tonight, and it will come with 1 lap to go. This next time by, we'll see the white flag. Johnny Finewald by a car length ahead of Richie Tosh. Johnny Finewald won 3 straight titles, and Richie Tosh tries the slider and it won't work. Johnny Finewald cuts back to the inside, takes the lead away. Richie Tosh will give it 1 last try, but nothing proves that the Flash is best up front, as he will win at the Diamond of Dirt tracks. He won 3 times here during the regular season. He will win a 4th in a big time way, taking home the big buck 50, a 10 grand payday for the Flash here at Lucas Oil Speedway.